This morning, new details about the fatal shooting on the set of the movie Rust, which has now halted production. According to search warrants obtained from authorities in Santa Fe, New Mexico, the fatal shooting happened while the actor Alec Baldwin was practicing drawing his weapon in a church pew. Director Joel Souza was hit in the shoulder. Cinematographer Hanya Hutchins died. An affidavit says the gun was one of 3 prop guns set up by the armorer on set. Assistant Director Dave Halls, who grabbed the gun off a cart outside the church and handed it to Baldwin.
That chain of command is usually the first AD and the armorer and the actor, and that's usually the people that interact with that gun. But the first AD won't be touching the gun. They won't be picking the gun up off of a cart.
No charges have been filed. Prosecutors and law enforcement are expected to give us an update on the investigation tomorrow. So this morning we wanted to learn more about gun safety on movie sets and, more importantly, gun safety in your own home. ABC 10's Marcus Allen talked to a gun safety expert and has some very helpful tips. Mark.
Yeah, well, it all comes down to the armorer. You know, I'm a member of the Producers Guild and SAG, and I can tell you that the rules on set are pretty much basic gun protocol. So I went to local experts at Plaster Sporting Club. And by the way, Plaster Sporting Club wanted me to point out they're not movie gun experts. They're just gun experts and want to save lives. Take a listen.
Frame until we're on target.
Though not an expert in theatrical safety applications, safety on the gun range is exactly as detailed in movie armorer set protocol.
So if I'm the instructor, I'm going to physically pick up the weapon. I'm going to visually inspect the chamber and physically inspect the chamber, make sure that there's no round there. I'm also going to ensure on a semi-automatic that there's no magazine loaded into the weapon and the slide's locked to the rear. That's the safest configuration a semi-automatic can be. I'm then going to take it one step further to get another set of eyes on the weapon and pass it off to a student and have that student verify the same thing. Visually inspect the chamber, physically inspect the chamber, make sure that there's no magazine in the weapon, slides locked to the rear, and really ensure that this weapon is clear of ammunition.
So on a movie set or at home or wherever a firearm may be present, these 4 steps could prevent tragic accidents.
Okay, so in firearms, there's what we call the 4 cardinal firearm safety rules. Number 1 being we always treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Number 2 is we're going to keep our fingers straight and along the frame until we're on target and have made a conscious decision to shoot. Number 3 is we're never going to point the weapon at anything we do not intend to destroy. And then you can take it even a step farther, and number 4 could be know your target and what's around it.
So great advice. Whether you care about what happens on movie sets or not, you definitely want to keep people safe in your home or wherever you might find a firearm. Thank you, Plaster County Sporting, for letting me get those details. If you remember none of that, just remember what you and I talked about yesterday, Walt. Never point the gun at anything you don't plan to shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. You just never know. Don't trust anybody. You never know what may be stuck in there. Best thing is just don't do that. Okay.
Amen. Walt, you've grown up around guns, I assume. Do you not flinch when someone points a gun or any weapon your direction, whether they intend to shoot it or not?
Completely freaks me out. I'm like, please
Same.
don't do that. I don't know what you've done to secure the safety of that gun.
Right.
So I would appreciate it if you point it to the ground, if possible.